We must ensure that each student has access to a sound basic education. Our Constitution demands it. That means doing better at attracting teachers and keeping them with higher pay and more respect for them and their profession.
I think one of the biggest challenges that we have and where right now things are ripe for finding solutions is how do we make the teaching profession something that young people see themselves going into. I think that younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, they want to have opportunities for advancement. They want to take on more responsibility. They want to see that their pay is going to grow with their responsibility. So I think that's where I see the biggest opportunities coming. Yes, we need to pay teachers more money. But I absolutely think that we need to recognize that some teachers take on greater responsibilities and that largely this is volunteer work for them right now when they should be compensated for this work.
If we are successful in recruiting more teachers for our state's classrooms, our schools would be completely staffed with well-prepared teachers who can be successful in advancing student achievement. Through the work at our 9 lab schools, we will be able to develop and test innovative teaching practices for use by teachers all throughout the state. Our public school classrooms will have teachers who look like the students they teach. Our public schools will continue to partner with our universities to provide support for teachers already in the classroom. And if we set the right conditions, well-prepared teachers who are supported in their classrooms, we will hopefully see more people who will want to go into the profession and make a difference in the lives of so many.
If I had been told when I was in high school, I really think you should be a teacher, then I know that I would have taken that track immediately. I didn't, I went around. But if we look at a high school student and we start recruiting them from that early age and having them in their minds know that I can do this, I can be a teacher, maybe bring them on as tutors first, make them realize that they can and have that gift. And if they are students that we know represent the backgrounds and the different cultures in the state of North Carolina, and we target them early and then we guide them all the way through their EPP and beyond, then we know that we will have those effective teachers that reflect the backgrounds and all the different cultures that we have in the state of North Carolina.
As I have been in this profession for a number of years, I steadily see lower and lower numbers of beginning teachers who have come through a traditional pathway to education. And we also know that the attrition rate for non-traditional candidates is much higher than for those who have come through a traditional program. And so I think that being able to address the full spectrum of challenges from compensation to licensure to working conditions and all of that has to be a statewide effort for North Carolina.
So the State Board is working on this licensure effort, but there are other opportunities for us to better support teachers, and that is integrating ongoing professional development throughout the course of a teacher's career with the preparation at the early stage of their career. One other great development in the world of teaching has been this advanced teaching roles, which has been proven to be a positive program not only for teachers in creating greater skills and confidence and reward in their profession, but also creating greater outcomes for our students.
So when I think of innovation, when I think about how do we get teachers into the education pipeline, we have to think about alternative pathways. Not every student, when they go through high school, knows they want to be a teacher. Some may discover that later as either they move through their college education or as they move through another career. We have to think about those alternative pathways. How can we provide students with the opportunity to get the education and the training they need to be successful teachers? And then how do we get them into the classroom in the communities where they've grown up, where they have family, and where they're invested so that they can give back to that community through their teaching career.
As we think about solutions, I think one of the areas we need to focus upon is the challenge that our students have in their internships, formerly student teaching. That is a challenge for so many of our students. Among our independent colleges and universities, 50% of our North Carolina students are Pell eligible. That means they and many other students have work-study jobs, which they then have to stop as they come into the classroom because they're taking courses during that time, but they're also, as almost everyone knows, have more than a full-time job as they are in their internships. We don't provide any support for those interns the way that clinicals do in health sciences fields, and that means it's very difficult for students to be able to choose to do their internship. And certainly we know that with the shortage, many school systems are hiring students before they do that internship. Yet we know that it's critical for those teachers, new teachers, to be able to work with mentors and to be able to have that opportunity to learn before they have the entire responsibility of a classroom.
One of the key things I would love to see more of, we've got some great best practices underway, but I would love to see us in all of our high schools have a Grow Your Own program. And we know that especially in our rural parts of the state, people are committed to their local communities. And if we can get people invested and want to be teachers, stay in their local communities. We've got wonderful community colleges, 2+2 programs that feed into our 4-year UNC or independent colleges and universities. And then they can come back and enter into the teaching profession right there and care about their own local community and continue to see that education is an opportunity for all. This is the future for our children.